Well, oh, happy day. It's Wednesday. And welcome, my League of Eagles. I am always beyond grateful that you're here. We gather every episode of Leading Ladies Leaving Legacies because we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn and other social media platforms. It's a gift for me to be connected with you today and every day. I am Joy Ruffin, your minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings, and your signature style specialist. We're going to talk a lot about that today. What is our theme this month? How about your power in full bloom? Love that word, bloom, unfolding. It's a gentle yet powerful return to presence, clarity, and the courage to be fully seen. You know, those words, actually the two or three of them, presence, clarity, and courage, are very prevalent today. And today I'll be diving into that topic, your power, because it's all about you and power, but how we use it. And so all I want you to do is just sit back and relax and take in all of this wonderfulness that I'm going to share with you. One of the things that I know for sure, and I bet you know as well, is that everything that we do, we, men and women, but predominantly I speak to women, it's all about utilizing our power in the best way. So welcome, my League of Eagles. Have you ever asked yourself, why did I label the men and women that I connect with a League of Eagles? I just want you to give that some thought, because there's so many different birds, all beautiful in the universe. But why the eagle? Why are you the eagle? The pioneer, the trailblazer, the front runner, the light worker, the wayshower. Power awakening in this era, this time is major. These times are not asking, they're offering us an invitation into true beings of who we are, not an endless cycle of becoming. Becoming is great. You hear me say all the time, in the process of becoming. But this time, my League of Eagles, the awakened eagle understands that it's our time. Something profound has shifted everywhere. Illusion has grown very thin. Oh, but it's very, very prevalent. Whether you believe in the stars and all of that other wonderfulness, your call. There is a planet that's circling now that's causing a lot of confusion. Deception has become transparent everywhere. We now see clearly again if we choose to. Many of us are not. And that's in divine order. What once seemed perfectly normal. Question mark. The distortion of the human image, the distortion of feminine identity, the female body commercialized. It always has been about the skin and what you can show, as much of the top B, and now it's the bottom V, B, and then the V. You know what I mean. The female body has been commercialized to the 9th degree, reduced into fleeting spectacle. And when I say fleeting spectacle, my work as a signature style specialist and having a strong sense of aesthetics is a knowing, a feeling, a knowing. When you see so much of everything that's exaggerated, extreme, you wonder what happened. Movement slowly becomes performance. Expression becomes public exhibition. We see so much of that. Exposure replaces deeper feminine essence, and dignity quietly disappears. How can we have our dignity disappear? Freedom was once loudly celebrated. Yes, yet something sacred has quietly diminished, vanished. Self-worth slowly began its erosion under banners called liberation. But eagles recognize this moment, not as a loss, but an awakening. I don't come up with anything out of the blue. It comes to me in different ways, and to you as well, I'm sure. As a minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings, that's exactly how it came to me in a dream, because it's our time to truly awaken, to walk away from all of this programming, conditioning, the sexualizing that we've always been subject to. And far too many of us, myself included, bought into a lot of it. Because awakening restores perspective, and perspective restores our personal power. That word power. Well, it begins with awareness, self-awareness. It begins with seeing clearly what we once accepted blindly now demands deeper, has a deeper examination for all of us. And with that examination comes a powerful decision. Will we continue to emulate and imitate all of the craziness that we see on the social media platforms, in the entertainment industry and every other, the fashion, especially the one that I love, but it's gone off the rails? Or choose consciousness as our restoration? Because the eagle always chooses vision before popular permission. Does that sound weird? I don't think so. I think it's quite genuine, true. Reclaiming our image as sacred. Our bodies are not a trend. It remains a sacred testimony. It carries memory and wisdom, dignity and presence. A woman's image communicates power, and it shows up in so many different ways because it commands respect, admiration, and sometimes a wee bit of applause. It reflects self-respect within. Confusion seeking validation? No. For decades, cultured, trained women had to perform the embodiment of the sacred femininity to reveal their honor, to attract instead of command. But the eagles, of which you are one, remembers truth. Image is sacred territory. It is not product display. And when it is your body that's a product display, how are you displaying it? Does it speak to your greatness, the genius, and the gift of you to the universe? I leave you with that food for thought. You know I love food for thought. I hope you will too. Because it is a personal declaration. How you present yourself publicly shapes how power approaches you. Presentation shapes perception deeply. And just because we're in the casual mode, my eagles, don't think for 1 second that it gives you leeway to leave out a lot of the foundational stuff that we all need. Perception shapes opportunity everywhere. So reclaiming our image matters at its highest regard, highest vibration, the highest frequency that you can reach. It's more than culture admits publicly. When a woman reclaims her image, she restores internal authority. Well, isn't that where it all begins? She stabilizes her personal presence. I do love this. And reclaims her quiet sovereignty. Because sovereignty begins simply. I have the hiccups. When a woman chooses visibility, not visibility for approval, but visibility through intention, she chooses how she appears, what she reveals, what remains private. Oh, that's a word that really we are about to, over time, you and I, renegotiate what that means. She chooses, you choose, I choose, we all choose what remains private. Not everyone needs to know any, ever, and all about you. And privacy strengthens our feminine mystique. Mystique has always commanded respect, while excess always weakens influence. Does that make sense to you? So reclaiming your image is powerful. And what is that image? What do you want to project? Not restrictive, but restorative. This is not regression. This is dignity restoration. And restoration always strengthens leadership. Well, isn't that what it's all about, my eagles? Leadership, self-leadership first, and then sharing your wisdom, gift, genius, and the beauty and the soul of you with others. The eagle's path of seeking. Well, that's what the eagle does. The eagle is rising now, you, and not hungry for noise, searching for meaning, seeking spiritual clarity, no longer for compassion, but for grace and thoughtful understanding, where compassion becomes a part of it. But endless arguments exhaust our souls. And that's what we're about now. Wisdom restores inner balance. This new leadership emerges. It does not demand forced agreement. It is when we began to acknowledge all the beauty, the goodness, and the greatness within ourselves. But we also see the good, the bad, and the so-so. We have to be honest with ourselves because it invites exploration and curiosity, guided gently by grace. The eagle does not impose. She observes and contemplates. That word discernment, I want you to embrace it because she researches and reflects deeply. She listens before responding because curiosity creates connection, while judgment creates division. Division is deadly. It weakens our civilization, but understanding strengthens our humanity. Whatever spiritual path is chosen, we must honor freedom for others. God, source, spirit, truth, the names, somewhat irrelevant, because each and every one comes to one or the other with a different perspective, and a different yet reverence unites. True spirituality never controls. It never creates unworthiness. It creates respect. It allows exploration without fear. It invites reflection without shame. That posture alone influences others without ever demanding authority. In a world growing reactive, stillness becomes profound leadership. In cultures drowning in noise, quiet clarity becomes magnetic. And that quiet clarity is the eagle's true authority. Don't you love that? Because wisdom never dominates. Wisdom gently illuminates pathways. And illumination always inspires more powerfully than coercion. There's so much more to share with you, but let's take a quick little break because I want to invite you, as I always do. And if you're not here with us now is the time to join my Facebook group. We're taking a little reset now. And that group is Leading Ladies Leaving Legacies. And I say this every week, and I will continue to. Vision, mission, purpose, yours matters. And it's time to meet, greet, and collaborate with other eagles. All of them most likely you won't be able to collaborate and connect with, but over time, as you peruse through the group, you will find 1, 2, 3, and maybe more that you will be able to collaborate with and find out what you have in common and how you can support each other. And then you know by now, I have a Facebook group. A YouTube group, not a Facebook. Well, it's Facebook too. It's Joy Ruffin, Fashioning Femininity, Style, and Truth. And every week I come to you, not as a preacher, not as a minister, but as a woman, a lady, a female who is eager, as the eagle is, for us to awaken to the glory and the beauty of who we are. And it has nothing to do with size, shape, height, beauty, education, money. All of those things are irrelevant. We have to take them in and embrace them contingent upon who we are and stop being mesmerized by the media. Nothing wrong. Well, I can't say that. Something's not right with the media, but you and I are not following blindly. We're waking up to our own gifts and learning how to own the power within us and dress it accordingly. And then there's still available my complimentary clarity bundles. It is a complimentary to you. And if you are thinking about maybe this, maybe that, not sure, and you have question marks, I hope that you do. I align this with, for me, technology. Everybody, as my momsy would say all the time, has half a brain. If they have half a brain, they know that this is not my wheelhouse, yet I do love it. And I'm always expanding and growing and attempting to take in more from those who are much more proficient and knowledgeable and knowing than I am. And it's the same with clothing and fashion. You want to find and discover what projects and presents you in the best way. And this is the beginning of an offering I have for you. Now, let's get back to the eagle as a leader, as leaders. I want you to remember this because this is so paramount for me, and I hope for you. Our awakening is not a rebellion. It's not rebellious. It is a deep remembrance. A remembrance of dignity, sacred responsibility, and remembering our purpose. The eagle is a guide and observer. She is a guardian of perspective and the protector of wisdom. And with that role comes refinement and discipline. You know what I like to say all the time? We look to, most all of us do, to the royalty, to the cultured, to all of the things that we feel that we don't have. But what I want you to take to heart and soul now and connect it within you is that you are royal, regal, and refined. It's just a matter of uprooting it, aligning with it, and making it a part of your DNA because it's already there waiting. Leadership requires emotional maturity. It requires personal restraints. Not everything deserves a reaction. Not every voice deserves a response. Because true authority moves calmly, never desperately seeking validation. This is what's happened for many of us. We're constantly, in so many ways that don't fit our DNA, seeking validation. The validation is within you. And as an eagle, it's never frantic. It's deliberate and composed. Your presence commands attention, but attention in the right manner or mode, without demanding any applause. You understand personal standards. You create invisible, energetic boundaries, and these boundaries protect your dignity. And dignity commands deep respect, admiration, and oftentimes applause. Leadership, therefore, becomes an embodiment, not a performance, which is what we see so much of on the social media for social approval. First, you have to prove it to yourself, but you have to know it and feel it. It becomes integrity in motion. That word, integrity. Woo. Grace visible in your daily chores. And when women embody that, culture becomes and begins to shift again. Because leadership modeled with grace transforms environments silently. I'm willing to bet that most of you out there would agree that it's up to us, the bedrock of society, to change the way we are viewed, seen, and heard when it comes to the programming, conditioning, and the sexuality how we have been objectified and marginalized. And if not, you do it without shouting. You do it by surrendering to your feminine power. That's eagle leadership, which is what we're all about. The majesty of being valued. Well, isn't that what we all want? To be seen, to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued. But how? At every human heart lives a sacred desire. And that desire, I just said it, is to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued, and deeply respected everywhere. Not just for your outer appearance, but the inner connection of you, the heart and soul connected. I cannot say that enough. That means recognition is not accidental. It begins with self-preservation. When we get to know and understand ourselves more, it's much, much better. And let me share a little personal stuff with you, because as much as I'm a private person, I'm also an open book. When I say recognition is not accidental and it begins with self-preservation, without throwing blame, shame, or blasting environment mine as a youngster growing up, one thing that I knew when I became a teenager with a little bit of awareness was that I had to grow myself. I had to evolve and get to know joy, my name, but also joy. I had to understand the inner and outer workings of me so that I could utilize it not only for myself, but hopefully to ignite and inspire others to see the real beauty within them, not the exterior stuff. That's important because a little bit of enhancement, a little bit of exaggeration and how you can adorn and do what you need to do for you, fine. But when it becomes true exaggeration, it's not good. And one of the examples that I use all the time, because I see it almost everywhere. Sometimes if you're on television or if you're doing something where you're going out and you're far away and they need to see, you can wear 5 pair of false eyelashes. But and that's just one example. So how we carry ourselves daily is contingent on how we have grown, how we grow ourselves to understand who we are. It teaches others how to respond. Your confidence creates an atmosphere. Your posture communicates authority. Your language reveals self-respect. And that's what I had none of as a young girl. All the reasons why, when we meet one-on-one and we get to know each other as we're exploring all the options and possibilities, I will share with you because it needs to be shared. Because all of us at different times in our lives, we are needing to grow, to expand to the higher version of who we came here to be. Your standards reveal your inner clarity. Allure, I love that word, allure cannot be manufactured. It must arise and be authentic within you. Magnetism emerges from alignment. You know that I love that word alignment because what we're talking about is the alignment of your divine femininity, yours and mine, which means the masculine and the feminine are aligned and connected. But even though the higher form of the femininity is nurturing and compassion, all those good things, there's an ability to move ahead and take control and be able to maneuver and be the first one out to leap and do whatever needs to be done. Because alignment between spirit and conduct is important, especially when it comes to the divine masculine and feminine connected within us. And men have it too. The biggest responsibility for parents raising their young boys and young girls is to let them know that they can do any and everything, yet to do it in a way that they comprehend and understand. No more saying little girls don't do this or girls don't do that. Girls can do whatever they choose to in the right place. As an eagle, you understand this. You're not here blending in. Blending in to an extent contingent upon the circumstances, yes, but not blending into the masses, which we're all a part of. But masses needs, the collective needs leaders. You're not chasing validation. You are not shaping, but you are shaping new standards. And what's to remember that's very, very powerful is that you are the gatekeepers now. What does that mean? It means that you have compassion, you have the heart and soul connected, you don't judge, but you have discernment, and you gingerly, lovingly know how to share your knowledge and love with others because you're the guardians of the culture that's to be. You are the guides for emerging generations. Oh, it's such a powerful place to be, but only when you understand it. When I say that we are the guides for emerging generations, the wayshores of balanced power, because power is a deadly aphrodisiac if one does not know how to use it. I don't talk politics and sex and religion. I really don't. But every now and then I will allude to it. And when I say there's a lot of power seeking that's going on now, that anyone who is a seeker, full of curiosity, can see, as the saying goes, not my language, that ain't right. It doesn't compute. Because when you're way short of balanced power, it requires responsibility, refinement must accomplish influence, because royalty is never performance. Royalty is quiet embodiment. It lives without and within boundaries, within discipline, within thoughtful language, within moral clarity, that moral compass. Where did it go? Royalty does not demand attention. I've got the hiccups again. Royalty naturally receives recognition because presence carries unmistakable grace and dignity. And dignity radiates unmistakable strength. You are rare, you are precise, and you are here to be the leader that your heart and soul wants you to share, because you choose to be conscious. You choose grace over chaos, truth over trends. And this applies to what we're all about here, the awakening to fashion, to style, to the image, to the identity of you and who you are and how you choose to show up. You choose power with compassion. And that choice creates majesty. How could you not love that word, majesty, royalty, regal? The majesty you seek outwardly, majestic, has always lived within you, walking quietly beside you. Don't buy into all this craziness, this madness that's out here. Don't be waiting patiently for recognition. Be the best of you. And now when you began, the eagle awakens. Your power is in full bloom, unfolding. Your dignity is returning. Your leadership is rising. And your power is in full bloom, unfolding. Don't you love that? How could you not? One of the things, I keep going from one thing to the other because I have too many things going on here. One of the things that I want you to know and remember and have it embodied in the best way is that you are everything that you are meant to be, right here and there. And all that I want you to remember is this. Everything about you has to speak to what you wish and want to share with the world and how you wish to do it. My Eagles, each and every Wednesday when we gather here, sometimes we take a little hiatus because there's so much going on in this Rough and Oak community, camp, house, home, that all I need to say to you is be the best of you. Let that mirror and your best friend who always tells you the truth speak to you in a way that helps you to enhance to be all that you're here to be. And until we meet the next time, and we will, I want you just to be aware of one thing. And that one thing is that you are here to be everything that you need to be. And why do I say that? Because one of the things that's coming to me without any question marks is that there's too much fabrication, too much exaggeration, we've lost, too many of us, never all, our sense of who we are and why we're here. So my Eagles, until the next time, remember, you have these wonderful bundles, these packages are waiting for you. You can get to my website, joyruffin.com, and you can peruse and see which one fits best for you. And the complimentary that I offer, I can give you much more insight and awareness of what what would work best for you. But you have to be open to that. There's no pushing. It's when you're ready. I will be here waiting for you. So be and stay well and make this week, the rest of this week, the best week ever, and take care. Much love to you from my heart to yours. Cheers.